Hi ladies, today's video I want to talk about the right and the wrong ways to be high maintenance. Hello, my name is Ashanwa. Welcome to LAJA. This is a space for women who are refining themselves unapologetically to embrace their expensive energy to move from chaos to calm in their standards, environments, and grooming habits. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I encourage you to subscribe and stick around. Today's video is on the right and wrong way to be high maintenance. And yes, there is a difference. I know a lot of times high maintenance is used as a slur towards women to make them feel small or make them feel like they're asking for too much. And I'm here to tell you that while it can be a slur, and it's not something to be ashamed of if you are considered high maintenance, I personally think it's a compliment because I believe that putting effort into oneself and requiring effort from other people is how you stay and maintain your value as a woman. Being easy isn't the way to go as a woman because people don't value what is given freely, cheaply, or easily. But I also want to say on the flip side that there is a dark side to being high maintenance, the one you've seen in movies, the one you've heard people say, and we're going to break down the right and wrong ways to be high maintenance. So, what do people actually think high maintenance is? What the misconceptions are? I have my notes down here, so that's why I'm looking down. But most people think high maintenance looks like constant demanding, emotional intensity, always needing reassurance because it's rooted in insecurity, or expecting luxury without substance. I know a lot of times in the interwebs, every woman out there wants to receive princess treatment from men and be the passenger princess and turn their brains off and just have this lavish lifestyle bestowed upon them. And I just want to say that there's nothing wrong with having those desires as a woman. We all want to be cared for by the men in our lives, but high maintenance isn't necessarily over consumption or unstable consumption is what I want to say. And the truth is that people can feel the difference between embodied high maintenance and when you're just performing. Because real high, if you think of high maintenance environments, think of luxury brands, high-end people, high-end places, high-end environments. You notice that there is a consistent theme of lack of chaos. There's a lot of self-control. There's a lot of control within the environment, whether it's the way they present themselves, in the way they lay out or market themselves essentially. And that's something that is missing from women who are just faking high maintenance in general. So what is the wrong way to be high maintenance? I have 5. The first wrong way to be high maintenance, ladies, is being demanding without discipline. Wrong high maintenance is loud about expectations, but inconsistent in behavior. Ladies, if you're saying, oh, I want princess treatment, I want a man to do this for me, but you can't keep promises to yourself, you're out of line and you're out of pocket. If you're saying, oh, I want this man to invest in me, I want to get all this money, but you yourself are not doing the work to make sure that your finances are to the best of your capacity that they can be, you're out of line and out of whack. Because when you place expectations on other people that you yourself are not willing to meet or putting in the work to meet, and this is not me saying you have to be perfect and have everything in line and have all the designer bags and designer shoes. No, I'm not saying that, but you're a good steward with the little that you do have and you do possess. What you are requiring of others is in line with what your actions for self are. You require other people to take care of you because you take care of yourself. You require men or life or people to give to you because you give to yourself. You require good treatment because you give yourself good treatment. It really, really starts with you. But ladies, if you always want effort, but you're emotionally reactive, but you want luxury, but you don't have any structure, that is, I don't stand for that. That's not what I stand for or what my community stands for, where you just require things of people that you're not willing to give yourself, because I truly believe that you cannot give what you don't have. So it really starts with you. And high standards, ladies, are about self-regulation, because without it just feels like pressure, not value. So that's point number 1, being demanding without discipline. Number two is emotional volatility. I know a lot of times we women always make the excuse, and I've done this myself, so I'm not throwing shade, but we've made the excuse that, I'm just emotional, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl, and there's a time and place for being just a girl, but we're also grown women out here. And when we're dealing with people, especially the opposite sex, we need to have our emotions under control. Being difficult emotionally is not the same as being selective. If your mood constantly shifts, you react quickly, you need constant reassurance, men and people have to work around eggshells around you, and you're just a lot. And this is not in what you require as in your standards for yourself and for other people, but just being with you is hard because you're emotionally, like the what I earlier mentioned, you're emotionally reactive, you are really, really demanding in your, it's hard to be with you, let me just put it in that way, because you are insecure, you need constant affirmation and reassurance, you need constant attention and things like that. That unpredictability in your behavior is unattractive, especially to men. I'm not here to give man advice per se, but the truth is that we as women love relationships, we love men. I know I love men too. Talking about them is fun. And you want to be able to present yourself in a way where you are taken seriously and you get the results you want from them. Ladies, you cannot be high maintenance emotionally, where if someone says something, you're instantly thrown off. Or if someone doesn't do something the way you want it done, you're instantly thrown off. People need to feel like they can be themselves around you. That is what makes you stand out from the rest. And this is not saying that you abandon your standards and make yourself super easy to be with while sacrificing your standards and expectations. No, you still want to have boundaries, but at the same time, people need to feel like they are getting the most authentic version of you, for better, for worse, with standards, of course. So the third way to be incorrectly high maintenance is over talking and over explaining. I've said this a lot in my previous videos that high maintenance and expensive energy women do not over explain themselves. Where you're writing long paragraphs in text because you're ranting, you give emotional justifications, you over communicate in areas where you know you should be standing on business, especially in the realm of men. But expensive energy doesn't need to over explain things because it just is what it is. I remember seeing a post on Instagram that said that Chanel doesn't explain its prices, Dior does not shout about its value. So neither should we. And so I want to say the same for you too and let you know that, I'm back. But as I was saying, over explaining is unnecessary because expensive energy women, high maintenance, truly embodied high maintenance women understand that presence, not over explanation, is how they sell themselves. Point blank, period. So the fourth point is expecting without embodying. I already kind of touched on this, and this is where a lot of the misconceptions about being high maintenance really comes in. It's like a woman who is like Godzilla, and she is just like, I need this, and if you can't do this, then I don't want you. I don't want all of that, it's in that way. But I already said it before, ladies, that you may say, I want to be treated like luxury, I want princess treatment, but your habits, your environment, your standards with yourself are all in hell, they're all in the trash, and they're nothing to write home about. That is disconnection from self, ladies. That is Delulu in the wrong way. You cannot demand premium treatment while living in alignment, ladies. And I already said earlier that it really starts with yourself. That's why in my community, I really stress the importance of keeping promises to yourself as a woman. If you say, I will make my bed every morning, you do it. If you say, I will shower every morning and night, you do it. It may seem insignificant, but keeping promises to yourself builds self-trust. And that self-trust makes you be able to extend that out to other people because now you understand that, okay, I keep promises to myself. And so therefore, I am in a position where if other people fumble me, I may be fumbled, but I will not fall. I may be fumbled, but I will not fall. Period. Period. So ladies, it really starts with you. Don't require things of other people that you are not willing to give yourself. And I'm not saying that if you want Chanel and Hermes, you must buy that for yourself. And if you cannot afford it, that's fine. But give yourself the best that you can within your capacity. And you see that life is going to reflect that to you in terms of the experiences, the men, the opportunities that come your way. So the fifth way to be incorrectly high maintenance is attention seeking disguised as standards. Some women call it standards, but it's actually neediness, especially for low quality attention. Ladies, I want to tell you this, that having attention is not the same as being valued, because there is the right type of attention and there is the wrong type of attention. So you may say, oh, I just want to check in and see how he's doing. You're constantly texting, you're constantly seeking validation, doing things that are, that trigger emotional engagement. That's not high maintenance, ladies. That's dependency. And while it's not bad to be dependent in a relationship, you want to be interdependent in the sense that you maintain your own autonomy while being reliant on somebody else. You don't want to forget yourself when you're dealing with other people or dealing with men and even women as well. You want to keep and maintain your own identity. So you don't want to always constantly seek attention or do things just for the plot or do things just so you can get a certain reaction from someone, because it means you have an external locus of focus. And you should have an internal locus of focus, which essentially means that you're coming from the inside out. You're doing things that are in alignment with who you truly are, not who you are expected to be or expected to play a specific role, or you're looking for a specific outcome, ladies. So that is the fifth way to be incorrectly high maintenance. So what are the right ways to be high maintenance? Because I don't want us to feel like it's a bad thing to be high maintenance. And what actually works? The first is that you are structured, not stressful. Ladies, real high maintenance is structured. You have routines, you have boundaries, there's consistency in your life. People don't feel stressed around you. They feel clear. There is clarity, ladies. Write this down. Clarity on what you will and will not stand for. And people can see this reflected in the way you live your life. You may say, I don't go to certain restaurants, but you yourself feed yourself foods that reflect that. You may say, I go to bed at 9 p.m. every night. I don't accept calls after 9 p.m. every night. And you yourself stand on business and are in bed at 9 p.m. every night. People in your family see you maintain your standards. Your husband sees you maintain your standards. Your kids see you maintain your standards and not bend it for anything. And that is very sexy. I always say that my mom is one of the biggest inspirations that I have, and one of the most disciplined people that I know, and that is because she keeps promises to herself. And my mom loves nice things, don't get me wrong, but she's not on, like, I'm worse than her when it comes to like material goods and the Chanels and the Hermes and things like that. But what makes her truly high maintenance is the promises I see her keep to herself. She follows a strict diet. She follows a strict routine. She follows a strict workout plan. She doesn't play with her self-care. And because of that, my dad treats her like gold. He treats her like a goddess. And ladies, that is because it really starts with you, like I said earlier on. When you are structured and not stressful, you're not scattered, you're not all over the place, your environment really reflects that. So learn to have standards for your environment, have standards for yourself, and then that will be reflected outward in the experiences and treatments that you get from other people. The second way to be high maintenance is that you are selective and not reactive. You don't respond to everything. You don't engage in every conversation, especially ones that drain your energy or make you act out of character. You don't correct every behavior, because you're nobody's mom unless you have kids. You're nobody's mom. You're not his mom. You're not your man's mom. You're not your friend's mom. And you observe before you decide. That is restraint, ladies. And I'm still working on this because, baby, I'm an Aries. And, ooh, I love to tussle. And that is the truth. But I'm getting better. With age comes wisdom and maturity. And I know that's an area that I'm also getting better in. So be selective instead of reactive. That is high maintenance in the right way. So number three way to be high maintenance is that you let people rise or fall. You're not constantly teaching people how to treat you. You allow them to reveal their level, where they're at. And then you adjust accordingly. And this isn't to say that you abandon your standards, but you want to give people the freedom to be who they truly are. If you're constantly saying, oh, you need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, do you know what I mean? Then it's not necessary, because your actions speak louder than words will ever do. People say that communication is 80% unseen, unspoken, while the 20% is verbal. So the way you move, how you set boundaries, what you're willing to accept and tolerate can mean more than you saying, oh, I need you to do this, or I need you to do that. And you don't want to be in a situation where you're constantly explaining yourself, because you become stuck in this cycle of where people are only presenting the image you want them to present, and not who they truly are, and you have to keep reinforcing the behavior. So it's better to let people reveal themselves, and then you can move and adjust yourself accordingly with that. So okay, number 4 way to be high maintenance in the right way is that you are low noise but high standards. Meaning you're not always chirping, chirp, 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 chirp. Like as I said earlier on, most of your boundaries are embodied. It's how you carry yourself. You don't have to tell a man that you don't accept a certain type of thing. He can see it in the way you live your life. You can say it once, but you don't go and delve into the Genesis, the Exodus, and then the revelations of why you only accept a certain type of gifts or treatments or restaurants or whatever it could be. You don't argue your worth. You don't negotiate your baseline. Your presence communicates it. And in situations where you're not being served your worth, you simply remove yourself from the equation, from the environment. You subtract yourself. And your absence is felt. Your absence, because of the value you bring as a woman, your absence is felt. You don't have to over explain, or essentially that's it. And then the 5th way to be high maintenance, and again, this is not going to come to you as a surprise, but is that you maintain yourself first. Because like I said earlier on, ladies, it starts with you. It starts with you, and this is where most people get it wrong. People think, oh, I must expect the word from a man, my friends, my family, and they must give it to me because I'm deserving. But the reason why the women who are truly high maintenance get those premium treatments from men, from life in general, is because they maintain themselves first. Real high maintenance, ladies, which is what I teach in my school community that you can join in the comments section down below, is how you take care of yourself, how you manage your emotions, your finances, how you structure your life. Because if you're not maintained internally, ladies, you will constantly seek maintenance externally. Ladies who are saying that, oh, they're looking for a man to save them. No man is coming to save you. You're not a child. You're not a baby. No man is coming to save you. Only God can save you. And God even said God helps those who helps themselves. So we have to do things for ourselves first before it is extended out to us. So ladies, maintain yourself first. Maintaining yourself first is the right way to be high maintenance. Not just cackling and foaming at the mouth and not doing the least for yourself and expecting the most from other people. Like, please, we need to drop that in 2026. So that is it for today's video. I encourage you all to join my community, LAJA Soft Living Society, where we learn how to be high maintenance in the right way, embody expensive feminine energy, and really maintain and strengthen our feminine standards so that we attract the life, relationships, and opportunities that we want in this life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.